Welcome back, and thank you for joining us for the second half hour of The Factor Uncensored. We now turn our attention to the border, where there are new measures to enforce Operation Lone Star. The skirt of the Rio Grande is now sectioned off with razor wire. There are concerns that this could do more harm than good. Now, that wire is there to prevent migrants from coming across the Rio Grande, as it could potentially block off Border Patrol agents from helping migrants in need. Is it going too damn far? Joining us to talk about this and the conversation, Executive Director of FIEL Houston, Cesar Espinosa, University of Houston downtown professor, Dr. Dietrich von Biedenfeld, and political analyst Angela Box. Before we get to individuals who clearly have a side, Dr. von Biedenfeld, let's bring you in. Is this going too far from your perspective, looking at this?
From a legal perspective, there are a number of challenges to the states moving into this area. We've, of course, had this regular conversation with Title 42 and the powers of the federal government and the powers of the state government and the overlap. We like to see coordination between state and federal entities through human trafficking prevention, drug trafficking prevention, and even terrorism prevention. But in this case, it presents a human rights challenge, right? Because asylum seekers or those desperate persons who are moving are now apparently having the issue of federal authorities cutting through this wire to rescue people. And so now we've got the fiscal aspect of putting up preventative measures that then get torn down, but also the challenge of continuing cooperation between state and federal officials outside of the D.C., Mayorkas, and Congress battles.
Okay, Angela, your thoughts about the razor wire put in place, and is it going too far or not far enough, in your opinion?
Well, the gaslighting on this issue is extraordinary, and I have to slow clap it because we're talking about the Biden administration, which so far has flung open our borders on purpose, by the way, and has allowed about 2.5 to 3 million illegal aliens to come pouring through the border so far, and that includes 85,000 migrant children who they just have lost track. They've lost track of. The movie Sound of Freedom.
Let's get to what your thoughts are about this razor wire.
The razor wire, it is, Greg Abbott needs to have soldiers on the border. They need to repel this invasion. This is an invasion of our border, and the federal government refuses to do anything about it.
But you don't agree with the razor wire?
I absolutely do, and the Biden administration is now tearing down the razor wire to make sure that illegal aliens can continue to cross over our border. And we have to understand that this is a purposeful invasion. We have many actors at play here: drug smugglers, human traffickers, human sex traffickers. Sound of Freedom talks about this, and the left doesn't want to talk about this movie for some very strange reason, but I want to talk about it because we have 85,000 children that the Biden administration has quote-unquote lost. And, you know, AOC can go and do a stunt queen move with her white pantsuit to cry as President Trump tries to repel illegal aliens, but I don't see any leftist, any Democrat talking about the 85,000 children that this administration has lost. It is a human tragedy, and the left wants open borders for many reasons, and that's one of them.
Cesar, let's hear from you about this razor wire.
So the real gaslighting actually comes from Governor Abbott and mini Trump in a lot of ways, because whenever he has failed at many things in his administration, he always now goes back to the immigration issue, just like Trump did during his presidency. We are paying for this as taxpayers, and they're claiming that they're doing this to save lives, when in fact they're going to lose more lives at the U.S.-Mexico border because people are going to drown. This has happened before in American history with the American Canal, where they would rather build a machine that picks up bodies than build safety measures so people wouldn't drown. So it seems like Republicans are only worried about or are pro-life when it is about abortion and not about anything else. Children are going to die, families are going to die, and this is not Governor Abbott's place to be in. This is the federal government's place, and people forget that Trump violated a lot of laws when he put unconstitutional mandates into place that kept people from doing what is legally sanctioned by international law and U.S. law, which is allowing people to come in and seek asylum.
1 second, Angela. Before we go on, we know about sovereignty and all of that. So if people die trying to go through these razor wires, could the state of Texas, United States, also be held culpable? Could we be sued as a country as a result of all these people if if that happens, if they die?
Fortunately, sovereign immunity would protect us from most of these claims. It doesn't help our international relations with populists such as Obrador, where we're already seeing, in the supply chain area, trying to nearshore or onshore. So we need these relationships, and losing citizens from those countries, Guatemala, Honduras, is not a positive way for our policy making. But at the end of the day, these are national actions that would then be insulated. And so the federal government would have a course of action against the governor if they think he's exceeding his bounds. But individual non-citizens are not really going to have recourse.
30 seconds.
So I'm just gonna put a cherry on top of this Sunday. The Biden administration has purposefully flung open our borders to allow illegal aliens to pour over, and what red state governors like Abbott and DeSantis and others are shipping them to blue states.
Excuse me. DeSantis has nothing to do with this.
Let me finish.
Absolutely
shipping them to blue states, which now have to deal with illegal
on our
aliens,
tax money,
and they do not like it. And they do not like it. And I'll tell you what, Cesar. I'll tell you what. You open up your house and you start housing illegal aliens.
People can come in. I house myself. I am undocumented, so everybody's welcome.
Amazing. Because
business benefits from this continuing to happen.
American workers do not benefit from this, and the American people. This is an 80%.
And we're not ready to talk about that.
Out of time, guys. Thank you.
American
we'll
people
have
want
more
this.
Factor Uncensored on the way. This conversation could go on and on.